Yes, everybody, we're doing fantastically well. It is Connor, and we are back here with your post-match. As you can see, we've got the Raffa specials on just to celebrate today's victory, a massive victory for Leeds United, and I thought it'd be absolutely poignant to celebrate it with my good mate, David Brown, who will be here in just a sec. As I say, hope you're all doing fantastically well. Elliot Kaywood, Connor, smash a like button. Says Louis, happy for Rodrigo to get a goal. Keep your comments flying in, guys. We're going to get through them. We've got so many things to discuss on this evening's preview. As you can see, I'm in a little bit of a different location. I just like to mix it up every now and again. Like to mix it up, but we'll get Brownie in ASAP. Just before that, 8563 Robbie, big fan of the channel. I notice you, mate. Hey, Connor, it's my birthday, and Leeds have just given me a great present. Absolutely fantastic. Here he is. Senor Brown, how are you doing, my friend?
Very good, mate. Very good. It was it's what we're all about that today, isn't it? That was a proper Leeds.
Excuse me, sorry.
Proper Leeds performance today. We were brilliant from start to finish.
Yeah, definitely. I thought so, mate. I thought, I thought it's sorry. Cheers, mate. I know you don't drink.
No. Weirdly, as a Leeds fan, you always sit nervously, don't you? You always think, oh. But at no point, especially in that second half, did we really ever get worried. I wasn't worried. We just kept constantly breaking on them, time after time after time. I thought 3-1 flattered them in the end.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that round. Like I've been watching a lot of Tottenham reaction naturally after the game, and there's a few of them who are like, oh, that Harry Kane decision. But I'm turning around after that. And listen, Brownie, we'll go in chronological order like we normally do. But I'm turning around and I'm like, all right, well, you look at the amount of decisions that have gone against us this season. Even me just thinking off the bat, Bamford's offside goal against Wolves, Palace offside goal as well. It's the finest of margins. But to say, if you're a Spurs fan, to say, that was ruled out, that was inexcusable, all this sort of stuff. I thought, don't get me wrong, they profited from a lot of our mistakes. You look at the Harry Kane free kick that hit the bar. You looked at a couple of their opportunities in the first half. It was all from Leeds' errors, actually creating chances, being innovative and going forward and forcing the game on the opposition. Leeds were by far the dominant side in that contest for me. Yeah,
definitely. And just touching on the Harry Kane decision, I thought it was a farce. For me, it should be a goal, and goals do change games.
Yeah.
However, we've not been allowed to say that at any point in this season. When we've complained about it, oh, you're just sulking, you're just moaning, it's sour grapes, it is what it is. VAR, there's no black or white, it's offside or it isn't. That's all we've had thrown at us whenever we've complained about a VAR decision. And for the first time this season in game week 35, one's gone for us.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other one that I've thought, oh, thank God for that this season. They've always been against us, and we've always been told to suck it up, and it is what it is. Well, today, Harry Kane, it is what it is. Size 11 boots are just too big, or whatever size boots you are. But it's a farce. For me, it should have been a goal. I thought it was a goal. Even when the lines came out, I thought it was a goal. And goals do change games, but I also thought it would have been an absolute travesty if we'd have gone in at half-time, at least not level.
Yeah, 100%. And I thought that was one of the things, mate. When they got back into it, it was, oh man, when they got back into it, it was the most frustrating thing. But I'll tell you what, Brownie, like we always do, mate, we'll go chronological. And guys, keep getting your comments in. I'm going to read them all out. Unlucky Sheffield Wednesday.
Cardiff have put a downer on it for me today.
Oh, mate, Marlon Pack will never be allowed in Rotherham ever again. Do you know what he did as well? Marlon Pack, he went off celebrating. I'm like, you have just destroyed the championship, my friend. Oh, man. But yeah, a lot of people talking about Alioski man of the match. Obviously, we're going to get into the players in a little bit. Click had a great game. People talking about Robin Koch as well, having a great game. Fantastic win, says Ian Blackwood. Really pleased that Patrick Bamford was on the score sheet as well. What a feeling, says Sujal. What a performance. What a team. Leeds burnout looking great, says Josh. Yeah, it's always a laugh, isn't it?
On that for Josh, though, I'm not saying we have to be Bielsa burnout. I'm a big advocate of this. I know a load of nonsense. But we just seemed, from that Brighton game, we just seemed far more energetic, far more everything. Like even Bamford, he got his goal. There was just more from him today, I felt.
Yeah. No, 100% agree, mate. I think the whole team. Let's go through it then, Brownie. I mean, originally we always do this in the reviews. When you're talking about the team lineup, I'll be brutally honest with you. I saw the team lineup. Wasn't happy. I thought there was a lot of changes that could have been made in that lineup. And I'll be honest with you, mate. I turned around to my old man and I said, I think Bielsa's got it wrong. I thought he got it wrong last week. And I thought he got it wrong this. We looked at the formation. We looked at the lineup. Formation, fine, obviously. But when you're looking at Stuart Dallas right wing, when you're looking at Robin, I thought was decent last week. I thought a lot of people were saying he was unbelievable and all this sort of stuff. He was good. But I thought, I didn't think anyone was good last week, to be quite honest with you. And what I'll say, Brownie, is originally I saw that lineup and I thought, not for me. I think he's made a few choice errors there. But as we always say, Brownie, he always proves us wrong, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. All the time. I think everybody, hand on heart, would have thought there'd be at least one change, especially when I heard that Phillips and Rafinha were both at the ground. I thought one of them would play. Yeah. Couldn't see them both being on the bench. But he's turned it around and maybe he's said, right, that performance was possibly the worst under me. You've got something to prove. You've got something to give me back now.
Yeah, 100%. Ollie, big fan of the channel. Connor tells Bielsa, you got it wrong, mate. Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to say there, man. Listen, I'm wrong pretty much 95% of the time. That's what being a fan's all about, isn't it? It's giving your opinion. I'm not saying I'm ever right. Trust me, I'm most of the time I'm off the mark, but I'm a fan and I just try to give my opinion. Giel, is that how he's Giel, or is it Guiel? It's a fantastic name, but he's been commenting on the channel for a couple of years now, and I always get his pronunciation wrong. Bielsa is watching plays all week, which is correct, and that's why Bielsa gets it all right. Can't believe people don't rate Harrison. He's not as consistent, but could be a top player. Yeah, okay. We'll get on to that in a bit, but yeah, I mean, the start of the game, Brownie. Thought Leeds were fabulous. The first 10-15 minutes, we showed a real intent. We're on the front foot. I thought Spurs at some point were going to wake up and they were going to get it sort of kicked through them from whoever, maybe a captain, maybe Højbjerg, I don't know if he is the captain, or Ryan Mason was going to sort of deliver some news or whatever. But I thought from moment one, Leeds were dominant, were fast, were furious in the tackle, and we were the only team in it for the first 10-15.
Yeah, we were first to everything, really. Second balls, everything. And I thought Harrison started off very lively, like the comment just said about Harrison. I thought Harrison started off very lively. But one thing I noticed with Harrison today was it was touch and deliver. There was I think it was the Dallas goal where he's got it out of his feet and just whipped it in rather than touch, check back, and players in the box having to check the runs. He just got his ball and he just delivered it time after time. And I thought it was really good today, Harrison. Felt like he deserved a goal, to be fair, today.
Yeah, 100%. I thought he was first half. I thought he was much more lively. Second half, he got in some really good positions and ballooned them over the bar.
Yeah, it was a few of them where they just kept. Yeah, it reminds me of Click does that quite a few times. He'll just lift it over the bar. But some of the play today, Harrison involved. Some of the one they did balloon over the bar, that'd have been an unbelievable goal. And
yeah, it would.
I mean, it just shows how far Bielsa's brought this team. We're now popping it around. Højbjerg, Dyer, Kane, Son, just popping one-touch football around them. And even the third goal, the breakaway, it started in our corner. And it's just mind-boggling how far we've come under Bielsa.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're speaking about the first half, outstanding players, and I think I did a little bit of a player rating on Leeds Live, and Harrison was a 9 for me. Do you know what the thing is, Brownie? And obviously we've not had you on since the Brighton game, but the thing is with Jack Harrison, he's got it all there. He's got it all in his locker. I think with him, and you saw it with Aurier, Leeds had clearly targeted Aurier. You could see that throughout the first half and throughout the game, really. It's that quick step over he does. He gets it out of his feet, and he's got a 2-3 yard start on the opposition. He's very quick over a short distance. So when he stepped over the ball, took it on his left foot, whipped it in, and that's where we got the first goal from Stuart Dallas. But I just wish sometimes with Harrison, listen, we're not going to go on about this because we're not here to talk about this. But with Jack Harrison, I want to see that first half performance week in, week out, because Jack Harrison can be the X factor. He can be the X factor. You don't have to be the Y factor. He can be the X factor in this team. You know, he's got the capabilities. It's just
consistency, isn't it, with him? Just consistency. And he had that spell where we had Leicester away and the Villa, and he was unplayable, and then he'll go quiet for 4 or 5 games, and he'll put in a performance like today. And it is just that consistency with him. I think the comment that came up, I think he has got everything in his locker to be a top player. And
definitely, yeah.
How old is he? 20? He's early 20s.
I think he's 22 or 23, I think.
There you go. We have this avid thing about the age thing with Tyler Roberts. Harrison's similar age.
Yeah, of course he is, yeah. No, 100%, mate. And I just think sometimes, you maybe saw it with that. And listen, he was fantastic in that first half, but maybe the second half, I thought today really summed up.
I think the best way to describe it is that elite next level. You see it from Raffa every game.
Yeah.
No matter when he gets the ball, he is going to run at players, and he gets that delivery, that game, every game. Whereas Harrison, it's every few games, and he'll have a quiet spell. But that's just his learning curve, and no doubt it'll all come. And I think it'll be a really good piece of business in the summer when we get him actually signed and not on a loan deal for the 4th time.
Yeah, definitely. Should we talk about the first goal then? It was a little bit of mesmeric skill once again from Jack Harrison, which is what we were just talking about. He stepped over the ball, took it on his left foot, whipped it in. And I thought in the first half, Brownie, his delivery was absolutely superb. And he was, do you know what I loved about him in that first half, Brownie? And we've seen bits of it this season from Jack, and his stats are brilliant for his first season, but it's his aggressiveness. And this was the first game this season where I thought, you know what, Jack's turned up today and he's thought, I'm going to absolutely do you left, right. I'm going to do you. And he was aggressive. And I love that. He was brilliant in that first half. And it was all his work to obviously, line up the first Leeds goal with Stuart Dallas.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you don't know what was said in that dressing room after the Brighton game. But like last week, every single one of them, if you just told them they were dropped for today, not one of them would have been able to argue about it. So it might have had that factor of something to prove. And that's what we need to see on a weekly basis. That's the level they can get to. We've just put 3 past Tottenham, beaten Tottenham. That's the level, the consistency every week that we need. But it's not just Harrison, all of them. It's the first year in the Premier League, and that's what comes with time.
And can I just say as well, with that starting lineup, someone just mentioned it in the comment. I think King Galhar's just said it. What a bench we had today: Rodrigo, Raffa, and Phillips in it. And he is right. It's the same lineup, and it was streets apart, wasn't it? That Brighton game. Let's call a spade, Brownie, and that's what we like to do on this channel. Leeds were outplayed. We were outfought. I thought we were outran, really. I thought we were outdone. And that's one of the first games. I thought it was the worst performance of the season, to be honest. But that chalk and cheese to what we saw today. Leeds, even with that starting lineup, we're all like, oh no. But they were just mesmeric today. They really were. There
was a few today that really needed a performance. Click being one of them. And I thought Click was classed. He was back to his old self. He was getting it. He was passing it. I thought Alioski was great. The first goal started from his diagonal ball across field. And Alioski gets a lot of critics. And yeah, he is brain dead at times. He is. But when you think of how much we paid for him and the service he's given Leeds, you know my opinions on the whole Galatasaray thing. That's a conversation for a day. If he does go there, he can Well, I won't say what I think.
Insert swear word here.
Yeah, but at the minute, his performances from Leeds, I think he hard done by, to be honest, with a lot of the critics he get.
And do you know what? Do you know what I'll say? And this is what I always do on this channel. I've always said it as well. If I've criticised him, I will come out and say it. And I think for me, we were having a discussion about it today, me and my dad, and we were looking at him, and I said to him, "Do you know what, Dad? With the amount of stuff he gets, and I do criticise his performances. I went heavy on him last week.
Oh, me too, definitely. There's games where he does deserve the critics. And last week, one of them. And sometimes you think, for God, but no matter what, every game you can guarantee. And I think this is why Bielsa loves him. Don't matter what minute it is, he's bombing down that left-hand side and getting a ball in the box.
Yeah, he is. And Brownie, do you know what? They kept picking it out on commentary today, and he just doesn't. I think he's probably the fittest player in our side, I think, and you just saw that at the end there when he's bombing on. He's like he is by trade a left winger.
Look at the winner, Man City. It's Alioski's ball that's threaded through.
Well, I think
Dallas.
I think Chris makes a really good point here, and I think as fans, me myself included, and it's very easy if you are a fan just to say, "I've never said that," because that's what fans do. They'll say one thing, and then next week they'll turn back on that.
It's easier after a victory.
Of course it is. But what I will say is, Chris is right here. Chris is right, but I think sometimes with Alioski, the bad moments are
bonkers.
Bad
Just little things though, like off the top of your head, you think Keem up the goal. West Brom at home, 1-0, Alios.
Newcastle.
Huddersfield away. Don't look like we're breaking through. Volley from the edge of the box. And I just think, and that's why I think it'd be a massive shame. He comes into the Berardi bracket for me of just top class service to Leeds. We love him, and it would kill me to go there.
Yeah, well, Napoli, if he goes, mate, Napoli are going to get him. Don't worry. They're a better option anyway.
This is the thing. These top European clubs.
I said this, did you see my video the other day? I turned around and I went, are we? Because in our squad.
He's playing in the Euros in the summer. I mean, Macedonia aren't exactly one of the European elites. And he's part of a team that have gone to Germany and won.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah. Do you know what the funny thing is about that though? I watched that game and he was decent. He was really good, but he gave away a penalty.
That's it. That is it. There's always something in him. There's always a rick or something.
Yeah,
he will do good things, and like little things that Fulham away where he's smashed it into the Thames when he's got acres of space around him.
Oh,
just little mad moment.
Yeah, you're right. And that's the thing though, Brownie. You've seen today, arguably his best performance of the season, but then you hark it back to that Fulham game. That Fulham game was hideous. That Brighton game was hideous. So what I'm trying to say is, with Alioski, he's not a starter. For me, he's not in the Premier League. But if we can somehow nail him down as a secondary option, but the thing is, when you've got Napoli, when you've got them coming in for you, and you're able to play at that top level, and other clubs recognise that, Alioski will never stay at Leeds to be a backup.
I think that's the thing. I think he knows. Oh, don't get me wrong.
Oliver, thank you. Top man.
Don't get me wrong. That's class 1919. Don't get me wrong. We need a left back. Absolutely. I'm not saying we don't need a left back. But he's playing week in, week out for a top half Premier League team. And when I go on, you know what Twitter's like, I see him getting slagged off from time to time. He's playing in the top half of a Premier League team. And he's producing threaded through balls against Man City to set up winners. He's creating assists.
Yeah,
he is doing things. He's not just running around.
Yeah. If I said the word Oliver to you, because Oliver's just given us 1919 there. Do you like that name? I think it's a cracking name, Oliver. Emmett as well. It's just got a nice ring to it, hasn't it? You know, Oliver Emmett. It's a proper name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good name, innit? Yeah. What else? Ollie, I don't know you, mate, but I know your name. So that's all I can say about you, really. You're a top lad. Top lad. Cheers for that. Here we go. Connor, have you taken up the longbow? I only ask because you've got the Henry. Is a V a 5? I think a V is a 5. Is it? Is that right?
Have you ever seen Connor and Grealish in the same room, though? At the same time?
That's it. Very different. Do you know what I liked? Someone said Adam Lallana the other day. And I didn't mind that. I quite like Adam Lallana. Grealish knocks me off a little bit. I did that video. That video I put out this morning. I didn't even get a shower, so my hair really was Guanlucci.
He's going to start calling you Jack.
Grealish is one of those players that I just can't stand either. So there you go. Okay, so we've spoken about Alioski. I feel like we should end the conversation on Alioski. So I'm going to ask you, what do we do with him if we have the option? Because Bielsa's come out yesterday in his press conference and said that he wants to keep him. What would in your mind is?
I'd give him a new deal.
But would you give him a new deal on the basis that he's a secondary option at left back?
Oh yeah, we bring in a left back, but I think we bring in another striker as well. But I'd still keep Bamford. It's the same. Yeah. Just because you're getting just because you're keeping him doesn't mean you can't bring in another left back. Look, we've got 4 centre halves. Do you know what I mean? I think we're bringing a keeper. I think we need a keeper, but that don't mean I'm shipping Meslier out.
No, you're right. We do need a keeper. We have to get a keeper.
I think Kiko goes this summer. So I would give Alioski a new deal. I don't think it'd break the bank, and he does have mad moments, but you know what you're going to get from him.
Yeah, you do. 100%. And Dominic, listen, and you said this, Brownie. You said this, and you were spot on. Alioski's through ball to Dallas against Man City was that ball that he put through the outside of his left foot. The weight of that pass was truly phenomenal. It was.
If De Bruyne does that, that would be highlighted up on Match of the Day.
But Brownie, this is what you get, and this is the Bielsa. It's everything with Marcelo Bielsa. It's why he's truly great. Alioski, when we first bought Alioski under whatever it was, the Eckenbottom era, I don't know, I can't remember. But
he came with Saiz, same time.
He did come with Saiz, yeah, and I think he was on the same sort of sheet as Caleb Ekiban and co, wasn't he, in Pennington?
Yeah. But I looked him up today because I thought, how much did we pay for him? How much do you think we paid for him? It was more than I thought, but...
Was it 3 million?
2.
2, right, okay.
It was more than I thought, but 2, because at the time when we bought him, but 2 million... For a player who's playing left back in the Premier League week in, week out, you're not going to go and get someone for 2 million to do that.
No, you're right. But I just think, I think you're right, Brownie. And I think today he's doing himself, if he can just put in, we've got 3 games left. If he puts in that kind of performance with 3 games to go, he's forcing Leeds' hand. I don't know what's going on in his contract, whether or not Leeds are even offering him a contract, whether or not he wants more money, whether or not this, that, and the other, he wants to be starting left back. But Brownie, if he puts in 3 more performances like that, and showing no mistakes, absolute quality, defensively sound. Like, can we? We've not even touched on this. Can we talk about where Gareth Bale was today because of Alioski?
Well,
where was he?
I was going to tweet it, but I'd spent out a few tweets today. He pocketed Pulisic and Ziyech. He pocketed Bale, and who else came to Ellen Road?
Was there a scum player?
He got Pepe sent off.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And Man United, who was on that side then? Rashford was on Ayling's side, Man United. But clean sheet against them. There was Rashford. Was it Greenwood? Did he play?
He didn't start, did he? Yeah, he did start. He started up top, didn't he? And Cavani came on. So
there was Rashford, Greenwood, Cavani. Someone in the comments will know who played on that right-hand side for Man United.
Dan James.
The fact that we can't even say who played on that side says that he pocketed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so, there was a few. He's in that bracket for me with who needed a Costa, Click, Roberts, Alioski, them ones that are really playing for a future at Leeds. No, maybe that's the wrong word, future for Leeds. I don't mean it like that. I just mean we need more out of them if they want to. Leeds are only going one way for me. Leeds are going up, and it's who wants to be part of that journey.
Yeah, no, 100%. Will Shears has said here, long-time fan of the channel, if Alioski had better decision-making and got rid of those silly mistakes, Alioski would be an incredible left back. No, what I was trying to say, Brownie, when we got on to something else, he was bought in the previous regime as a left winger. How are we that surprised that he doesn't defend that well?
He used to line up on the left-hand side of a free, didn't he?
Yeah.
I remember he scored a goal away at Sunderland, was it?
It was. It was Saiz and Alioski away at Sunderland 2-0. Oh, good day.
So there's that element of him bombing on all the time. He's a left wing back from Macedonia, so he's got that attacking side into him. So there's Premier League football. Every pictures at Trent Alexander-Arnold that he can't actually defend, and teams target down that side because he can't actually. He's better going the other way. So he's doing a job.
Yeah, so Giles has said, Connor Brownie, just an idea. Why don't you do a live video chat with some of your followers, subscribers, hint, hint, at the end of the season? So Giles been on the channel before, 100%. If you guys have any ideas on how we can get you all involved and all this sort of stuff pre-match, listen, look how many, there's 435 of you here. Please like the content. We're going to be going on for a while because you know what? I'm feeling in the swing of things tonight. And yeah, 100%, I want to get you guys involved as much as...
No, it would be good. Because everybody's... The game about even when I get into arguments on Twitter.
No, but Brownie, can I just say I feel like with us, we get the comments up as much as we can, and we really delve into it. And I'll try my best to look at your guys' comments and bring it up to Brownie. Yeah, these aren't topics off the top of my head, guys. These are all what you're saying. So essentially, you really are one Leeds. It's not me. I'm just reading your comments.
I always say it's a game of opinions, and if everybody thought the same thing, it'd be boring. It would be boring. If everybody thought... Managers all have different ways of playing. If everybody thought the same thing, it would be boring. You might not like one player, I might not like the other. It's just how it is, and that's why there's so many things to talk about.
Of course it is. Okay, let's move into the second goal.
Theirs or ours?
Well, ours, yeah. I mean, theirs didn't really count, did it? So we're not going on theirs. But do you want to talk us through the second goal, Brownie?
Second one. Oh, yeah. Bamford's one, yeah. Again, we've just spent 10 minutes talking about Alioski, but he's on the byline cutting it back.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's Alioski again, isn't it?
Yeah, and he did say the first goal started with Alioski's crossfield ball. Thought he had a really good game today. But yeah, it was good to see Bamford on the score sheet again. As a striker, 1 or 2 games without a goal, okay, 3 becomes 4, 4 becomes 5, and then you're worrying. It was 5 games without a goal. So today for him to get a goal, it was massive for him. In front of Gareth Southgate, he's still knocking on the door. 15 Premier League goals for Patrick Bamford. He got 16 in the Championship, I believe. He's on 15 in the Prem. Hi, Sean. For a player that wouldn't cut it in the Premier League and we'd go down if he started as our number 9, he's not doing bad. Is there only Kane as an Englishman that scored more goals than Bamford?
Yeah, right. Okay, but Brownie, he was very good. I in terms of off the ball, still somewhat quiet, I would say, but he was fighting against Dyer. I thought he did really well against Dyer. I thought he nerved him a little bit, but there's one man, Brownie. Go on, sorry.
He seemed to have more movement in him today.
Yes, he did.
To be a bit more about his old Bamford self. And someone mentioned the other day to me on Twitter that ever since the Fulham game, he seems to have been playing with a knock. Maybe it was his first time he was fully at it.
Yeah, maybe. Can we talk about Stuart Dallas? Because it's getting to a point now where, I mean, last week, bless him, I did not blame him. Last week, I blamed Bielsa for putting him on that right-hand side. It's getting almost comical and amazing at the same time to see what this man can do. Not only the ball's in, but he's running off the ball, his defensive work, his attacking work, how he was helping out in the midfield as well to give Click a little bit of cover on occasions. This guy he scored again. He scored this, like he's
our player of the season by
Brownie. It's getting to a point now where it's Dallas, you know, and genuinely on the rumor mill a couple of weeks ago, I was saying, you know, when we're looking at that next level player, Stuart Dallas, and it's, you know, don't be arrogant, Connor, don't say that, because Stuart Dallas he's the metric of what football is all about, working your way from the bottom to the top, and this guy is continuing to just put in outstanding performances. Yeah, he had a little bit of a blip at Brighton, but the whole team did. But this guy's consistency, everyone talks about him being the James Milner. James Milner is the Stuart Dallas. That's
you're right. You think you're right.
But Brownie, you've got to put respect on his name because he's again phenomenal. And he's a big game player. He's a big time player. And this guy's shown it since we played Derby in the semi-finals when he was the only one to turn up. He continued that. And I absolutely love this man. He's getting better and better with age. And you've got to, I don't care if he's 30 years old, give him another 2-year contract. I'll base it on sentiment, because what he does, even if I'm basing it on sentiment, he proves people right because he gets better and better and better.
1.7 million, I think he was. But Stuart Dallas, for me, I've said it before on this show, last year he was my player of the year. Hernandez, with the goals at the later on, won it because of the moments he produced. But as a whole, over the 46 games, Dallas was my player of the year. And he's by far my player of the year again this year. And you know what? I said it today when I was watching the game with my brother. He should be in the team of the year.
Do you reckon?
What? I don't. The only problem with Dallas is when I won't get into things like that. What position do you put him in? Because he plays everywhere. No matter where you play him, he will give you that performance.
Yeah. I think the annoying thing. Do you find with the commentary? I mean, we had it at the end when Glenn Hoddle called Aliansky. I think there's a lot of Leeds players at this moment in time that because they're not fashionable, because they're not called Dino, or because they're not because they're not Brownie, because they're not English sweethearts like we see with Dele Alli and Kane, they're not like I just said, fashionable, and it's almost getting embarrassing at the start of shows, because I tweeted it out and you'll have probably seen it, that Glenn Hoddle tweeted out and said, with Leeds, it's 3-0 every week, or 3-0 win or 3-0 loss every week, which is complete tosh, we all know. I mean, the last 7 games, we've barely conceded any goals. But what I'm trying to say is, the reason where I look at team of the years and player of the years with the Premier League and all this sort of stuff, there's a pure ignorance to the top 6. We all know this because the top 6 are favoured, which I kind of get 100%. But at the same time, it's not a democracy because you're not looking at the entire 20. What I will say is Stuart Dallas, I'm telling you, mate, 95% of the Premier League won't know who Stuart Dallas is, even though he's been putting out riveting performances week in, week out for Leeds United.
You're spot on. If we'd have signed him in the summer and he was called Stefano Dalasino. Yeah,
nice name.
You'd have all the rumours like you're getting with Rafinha. You'd have, Liverpool are looking at him. Man United are looking at him. But because he's Stuart Dallas from Northern Ireland and we paid 1.7 million for him from Brentford, it's just another player, isn't it?
Do you notice that though? Like I understood. I was watching a Tottenham preview after, and I'm not saying I go and look at other channels and podcasts and all this sort of stuff and try get an understanding, but I will do my research, and there's almost like they can't even pronounce the Leeds players' names, and there is a real sort of underdog feel to Leeds United. And in the Championship, we always felt that we were the juggernauts, but there is a real different feel to Leeds this year because we're so underestimated. But I mean, let's be right, Brownie. Everyone thinks we're going to do with Sheffield United. Everyone thinks we're going to get relegated at 20th last season because Sheffield United did the exact same thing as we've sort of done this year.
I think it's because, and we forget it because we're Leeds fans, we're a newly promoted team.
It's mad, isn't it? It is mad.
Crazy. We're newly promoted. I'm going to do a bit of research. Has there ever been a newly promoted team not get beaten at home by the top 6 in their first season? I'm going to say.
But what are we talking about? Because we have been beaten by Leicester, but are we talking about the big ESL league top 6?
The big franchiser teams. Them ones. That's what I'm going to call them now. Franchiser teams.
Yeah.
But yeah. The big 6. Has there ever been a newly promoted team beaten by them? Birmingham.
Apparently. There you go.
Right. So there has.
Damn.
That'd have been a good stat, that. So
second. It's not bad.
Thanks, Phil. In betweeners episode where he's in the headmaster, he goes, "Thanks, Phil."
Thanks, Phil. So I mean, we've got off the game here a little bit. We always seem to do this, but with regards to obviously that first half, brilliant first half. Alioski and Harrison were the standouts for me. Let's talk about Click a little bit. Been out of favour for really the entire season. He was brilliant at the start. Sort of Fulham and Liverpool stand out. Very, very good. What I will say is, I think when he's been performing, I thought last week he was very, very poor. I called him out. It's all very well and good. Now we've won a game, turning around and saying, "Oh, he's been brilliant all season." That's not the truth. You've got to be honest with yourself. Last week in particular, he was very, very. Yves Bissouma was giving him the run around. But what I will say about Click is he was brilliant this week. He was brilliant this weekend. He was very good. He was getting hold of the ball. He was running in the channels. He looked quicker. He was clipping the ball over the top to Bamford. There was much more of a link there. And it's absolutely brilliant to see, isn't it, Brownie?
Yeah, I thought Basuma was good, by the way. Just touching on him, I thought he was really good. But yeah, I was delighted for Click today because he really needed that. He really needed today's performance. He just seemed to have, again, more energy about him. He just seemed to be everywhere the ball went. He popped up in them areas, and it was like the mischievous Click again. The little bit when Aurier's on the floor and he's laughing and joking, and it just seemed that. You haven't seen that from Click lately. You know, all the gifts that go around with him shushing people and him pouring water on people. We haven't seen that from Click.
Shithouse.
Yeah, we haven't seen that side to him for a while. And it came back today, and I was delighted for Click because at times last year, Dallas aside, he was one of the first names on the team sheet. And this year, he hasn't been. So that's a psychological thing that you've got to overcome. But yeah, I was delighted for Click today. Really needed it.
Well, cheers. Click seemed to get angry at the start because of Aurier. Do you think that boosted him today, making him hungry for it? Did you see that?
Aurier's just fallen over reading that comment, by the way.
Brownie, check the cushions behind you. I'm still looking for Bale. Where is he? Is he behind that?
Raffa did more in 10 minutes than Bale did in 60, 70, didn't he? God.
He was poor. He was. I was like,
Connor, imagine being a Tottenham fan. 600 British £1,000 a week, and you wonder why you're £1 billion in debt.
Do you know what though? I was seeing when I was talking about, when I listened to a lot of the reviews, they were talking after the game, and they were like, "We've just got a rubbish team. We've got this, that, and the other." I'm like, "Seeing your front foot." What I will say, Brownie, this is just triggered my mind there. We didn't speak about it. One of the only sort of annoying things about it, was sometimes when we were giving, Harry Kane, you can't give him a sniff, can you? You cannot give that guy. He's
disallowed. The one that got disallowed. Oh my God. Did he do it because he knew he was offside? I don't know, but it's another talking point for another day. But does he need to leave Spurs?
He's lethal, isn't he, Brownie? He's like Shearer. Yeah. He's like anytime he got the ball, I'd turn around to my dad and I'd be screaming. I'd be like, close him down, because you give him just a yard. And I think he drilled one past the post. He had 2 offside goals and he hit the bar. And they were his 4 chances.
I remember watching Tottenham a couple of weeks back at Newcastle, and defensively I was confident going in today. A lot more confident. Yeah, that'd be nice. But they're one of them teams where going forward, frightening.
Yeah, they are.
At the back, what are they doing at the back?
Yeah.
He's the France captain. He's won the World Cup. That when he came out and punched it in the first start.
But this is what we're coming up against today. Should we talk about the back line as well? Obviously we've spoken about Alioski, obviously Ayling. I feel like there's no point in it. I'm sorry, Luke, but there's no point in even talking about him anymore. He's just that good week. I thought he was a little bit quiet today, but that's fine. But what about Liam?
Llorente is really, really growing on me. He's growing on me. He started off really shaky the first few games, and I was a bit. But he's developing and he's becoming. He looks effortless.
Yeah,
he never seems to break a sweat. He just gets across. He reads it so well, and I know he's struggled with injuries this year. But if we can keep him fit, I think he's the number 1 centre back to start.
Yeah, do you know what, Brown?
That's a big shout. But I think
It's not a big shout, because when I've been watching him these past couple of weeks, I've said in a couple of videos, when he gets high pressed, I'm a little bit worried about him. And that was because when I saw the Chelsea game initially, when he was high pressed, he was nervy. He was very nervy. He was punting the ball out. His pass completion was extremely low. But what he's obviously he was, just coming back from injury, but when he's been back in a defensive capacity, winning free kicks, progressing the ball, he's absolutely fab. And you know what, Brownie? You're spot on. He is. I look forward. I know he's not a dominating character, but I think captain material. Even Strout next to him. Everyone was talking about Liam Cooper coming back in. I love Liam Cooper. Liam Cooper's been brilliant this year, and he's another one who's barely put a foot wrong, really, in terms of mistakes. But he cannot get ahead of Pascal Strout and Llorente at the minute. They've just been absolutely superb together.
I mean, even Kopp can't get in at centre back, and he's a German international. I think just the solidarity that we've had in the last 6-7 games with them two at the back. That's the centre half pairing now. You get your chance when you got your shirt, and then it's up to you to give it away. You should be playing Ayling at centre back no matter what.
I did say that.
Did you actually?
Yeah, because mate, it was after Villa. When Ayling had that unbelievable performance next to Stroud, next to Kopp, and he was outstanding. And I thought he's got all the technicalities. He's quick. He's good on the ball. He's progressive. And I was thinking to myself, Ayling, centre back. Who knows? We could see how that. But then again, because I was thinking at that point maybe we could stick Dallas right. It was all very different then. It was all very different. The complexion of Leeds United. But
yeah, defensively, I thought we were really good. I thought Koch was really good as the anchor in there. I thought he had a great game. Took the words right out of my mouth. You guys there. I thought Koch was really good.
Superb, wasn't he? And he was a big part. He was a big part of that third goal, wasn't he? Playing that lovely ball through to Raffa.
Yeah, and God, how good is he? Yeah. How much more? That is your X factor, isn't it? He just when he came on, you talk about Gareth Bale, Raffa, he does that week in, week out. I do think he'll be at Leeds next year. I do. But I think next year we need to deliver European football for him to stay a third year.
I agree. And he deserves it. He's too good. I mean, do you know what it was, Brownie? And
he would go, sorry, just to butt in, he will go big money. Really, really, really big money. Because he's 24.
Do you know what it is, Brownie? You look at, that third goal where the ball was played to him by Kopp. It's his first touch. He's so intelligent because a lot of players, that first touch, because Kopp zipped the ball in, and a lot of players would take that ball across the body, maybe slightly touch it and go towards the byline. That's what they do just to cushion the ball. What Raffa did was, because he's got so much confidence in his pace, the ball came in and he almost kicked it ahead of him. It was a first touch where he gave himself 10 yards.
Diagonal touch across the defence. That first touch, defender was done for. He wasn't getting back. And then he had the peace of mind. I knew he was going to square it. I knew he was. Some players, that defines some players. Some players go, I'm going to go shoot myself. I knew he was going to square it. And
really happy for Rodrigo as well.
Composed finish from Rodrigo. Yeah. And that's, we spoke about every player. We'll get on to the attacking players. That's the difference. I hear this argument all the time. What's Rodrigo done that Roberts hasn't done? He delivers end product. That is the difference. He's played less games. He's got more goals. He delivers end product. Yes, he was a lot of money. But
it's difficult, Brownie, because, and this is what people are going to say once again, it's the whole win aspect. We've won a game, so everything's brilliant. And it is. We've had a fantastic season. We've been brilliant. I love it. I'm in a great moment at this moment in time, psychologically, with Leeds, with everything.
Yeah.
In terms of progression for next year, there was a point in this game with Roberts, and there we go. We're going to get people saying this, that, and the other.
I'm not sure because, I mean, my opinion on him is clear to see. And Rodrigo has been in and out. He's had injuries. He's in and out. He will need to have a full season, but I'll get stuck in. Don't worry. I'm not afraid. But with Rodrigo, last year with Roberts, it was he needs a run of games. He's been in and out of injuries. It's not fair to judge him. Well, that's the same for Rodrigo this season. He's still got more goals and assists in less minutes. And for me, Roberts, it was the first time today that I even saw Bielsa being frustrated with him.
Yeah, it was 100%.
How can I describe it for me? Rodrigo and Roberts. Rodrigo is just quicker on the ball. He just does. He gets it and gives it. Gets it and gives it. Yes, Roberts has been developing really well. He's had some better games recently. But done what? There was a tweet from someone Arsenal, and it was tweeting about Willian. He'd played 36 games this season and not scored a goal. And they were all hammering him. I know Arsenal are in a bit of disarray, but what's the difference? He's an attacking player. He needs end product. If he could add end product to his game, you've got a different debate. Because there is something there. I've never said he's shit. He's playing a Premier League football. He plays for his country. I've never said he's shit. It's just very... just seems to slow things down for me. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, no, and I think you're right, and I think it's good to have a discussion about it. I think there was a point where before he got brought off, he made 3 successive passes, and every single one of them was short, and we were in very good positions, very, very good positions, and you could see Bielsa. I think McManaman said it on commentary when he's going nuts on the sideline, and I think Bielsa's shown so much trust in him. Yes, he's been brilliant. Yes, he's been progressive. Yes, he links up defence and attack. But there has to be a point where we always say this with, I just said this with Jack Harrison about where he takes the game by the scruff of the neck. And he's done that. Jack Harrison did that in the first half and he really got Leeds on the front foot. Tyler Roberts, unfortunately, hasn't done that enough. Yeah, Chelsea, don't get me wrong, he hit the bar. Fulham, he had an offside assist. But there just has to be more from that position, and there was a lot of breakdown in his play today. And I literally said in my post in my pre-match, I'm begging Tyler Roberts to get on the score sheet. I want him to absolutely. I want him to get a goal. There was a moment on the edge of the box where it broke to him in the first half, and I'm like, go on, and then his shot just gets deflected, and it I will say that also this non-stop spot. Phillips couldn't pass at 21. Yes, he could. Calvin Phillips could pass at 21.
He's not 21, by the way.
No, I think, yeah, I know. Tyler Roberts, is he what, 23? 22, 23?
Yeah, he'll be 24 come next year. Same age as, is it what, a year younger than Rafinha?
Yeah, and Phillips has been on the scene for a number of
21.
Yeah.
Having 21, 22. I don't get this. You played in the Premier League. Don't matter how old you are.
It's not on it. No, but the problem is, Brownie, I think people think that, especially with yourself, and let me just say as a person who's impartial and I'm very on the fence with Tyler because I'm very much like he's got so much ability, but he just doesn't show enough. What I'm trying to say is it's not an agenda. It's not this, that, and the other. It's not, of course. What's the point in having an agenda when you're a fan of a football club? I don't get that. But
no, you don't, because if Roberts does well, it benefits our club. I want Roberts to do well.
Brownie, Roberts scores and assists. This title of this video is we've got a placard of Roberts. We've got this. It's not about being fickle. What it is, it's come on, you're a football fan. Look at exactly what's happened this season. Yeah, he's neat and tidy. Okay, fine. But the ball also breaks down a hell of a lot. He takes
How many times does he give the ball away? Is it? I might be very old school, but I want my defenders to defend and my attacking players to score and create goals.
And this is the problem that he's facing. And Jamie makes a really good point here. The problem that he's facing is you've got someone in the under 23s who is renowned to be, and listen, I've done reports on the 23s for my job. I've done video reports on the 23s for my job. This guy is up and coming. Joe Gelhardt is going to be a phenomenon. He's going to be a phenomenon. He's that good. So the problem is he's a number 10 is Gelhardt. Bielsa's been flexing him in the 9 as well, so he gets versatility. So what Bielsa's doing is he's preparing him for next season with Greenwood. That's what he's doing for next season. The problem Tyler has to have right now, and this is what he's had for the past 15, 16 games, he has to prove himself this year because there are people waiting in the wings who are going to be extremely good for Leeds United. Whether or not, Brownie, that's us going out and buying players, which I think we will in the attacking midfield capacity, or whether or not in the under 23s who've just blown the league away, there is going to be some talents who are going to come through in the first squad. Tyler Roberts simply has to produce in these last 3 games for me.
Yeah, I will flip it around and people might be shocked, but in Roberts' defence, playing in the first team, I mean, I've done it myself, not at Leeds, but other clubs, is a hell of a lot different to playing behind closed. I know the games are behind closed doors, but at a training ground in the under-23s, it's just different. It's in the public eye. It's on TV. It's streamed around the world. It's a massive step. It is a lot different. But what is he on now? 80 odd games. We keep getting this. He's 22, 23. He's an experienced player now. He's becoming I would say 80 to 100 games.
No, but I find it's annoying because I don't want this to be a thing where it's because we're in such a positive moment and this, that, and the other. It's not slagging him off because we want him to. I want him to do well. It's just there were occasions like I thought, for example, there were 3 or 4 passes today. You know, it got a little bit difficult. One went wayward, and I thought it just got to a stage today where he looked like when he was coming off and when he was making these sort of lethargic passes that he'd given up a little bit. And and he's a kid. He's a young lad. He is a young lad. But unfortunately,
I hope he starts the next 3 games.
So do I. Yeah.
I want him to do well. He's done well lately. But today was the first sign from Bielsa that I felt even he's a little bit frustrated today. He's got what we've got: Burnley, Southampton, West Brom. They're 3 good games for him to play in as an attacking player. But it just summed it up with Rodrigo. He gets that chance, it goes in. Yeah. It's just one product. That's all he's missing. He is tidy. He does do good things. He does, I've heard, carry the ball. He does do good things, but he's our most attacking player when he's playing. He's our most attacking midfielder when he's playing. I don't care if people say he's an 8 or whatever. He's our most attacking midfielder. Dallas chips in with goals. Click did last year. He scored. Do you know what I mean? We've got Rafinha on one wing, Harrison on another, getting goal contributions and scoring goals. Costa has even chipped in with a few goals. As an attacking player, you need to do your little bit.
Yeah, you do. And it just needs to, because he finds himself in such great positions. Okay. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to sign it off here, mate. Have you got any parting words? What do you want to say about anything else you want to say about the game? Anyone else?
I don't know what other people think, but I think it was our best performance for quite a while.
In an attacking sense as well, definitely.
Yeah, just as general from 1 to 11, I felt like it was very unnervy, which is very unlike Leeds. We didn't ever really feel like, even at 2-1, I felt 10 or 15 minutes left, I felt we're going to get another here. And
we could have 5, couldn't we?
I think the telling thing was Bielsa's substitutions. We're 2-1 up against a supposed big 6. He's bringing Rodrigo on. He's bringing Rafinha on. He's not shutting up shop. He didn't bring Phillips on until, 90th minute?
Yeah.
He was going for it, and I just think that just shows what he's all about. And I think we've got 3 very nice games to finish the season off with. 50 points, finish on 59.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad, is it, mate? And it's been a brilliant season, and I'm absolutely buzzing with today. If you'd gone back to that Wigan game when we just lost 2-0 or 2-1, whatever the frigging hell it was, or we'd lost to Sheffield Wednesday, and you just said in a couple of years' time you'll have finished 9th in the division and you'll have just beaten Tottenham Hotspur 3-1 at home. It really is what dreams are made of, and I just can't wait for the fans to get back in there, mate. I'm jealous. I am jealous because I won't be back in there, I don't think, for a long time.
It was the last one. I'll finish it off with, it was the last one without fans today, wasn't it? So if you are in the ballot,
well done. Luck. Yeah, good luck.
And I think, this is a conversation in front of a day, but I think the best thing about that day is I think you'll see Berardi and Hernandez on the pitch.
Yeah, it's got to be on it. Got to be. Let's hope so. Brownie, thank you so much for joining, guys. There's been 600 of you watching. If you wouldn't mind hitting a like on the video, hit a like on the video for a Leeds win. You've got the Raffinha special T-shirts that are in the section below. If you fancy getting yourself one of them, go ahead and get yourself one.
Your man of the match today, Connor, to sign off.
Yeah, my man of the match today, Bialioski, mate, 100%. What about yours?
That's a good thing, isn't it? When you're weighing up because you've got a few floating around in your mind.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to say You've got me here with my question, and you've got me.
So we need to be done soon, mate. I think
I'm going to go Klitsch. I thought he was really good in the middle.
Look, I think Pat P was confused there. He's just said, I think he thought the stream froze. That's just Brown.
No, it's my mind, mate. It freezes quite frequently.
Yeah, a lot of people. Dallas, Cock.
Do you know what? Dallas, Levente, Cock, Alioski, they were the ones floating around my mind. So it's good to see that we all think the same thing.
Top notch. Guys, as well, if you haven't, as I said, if you haven't liked the video, please do so. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Have a lovely day, and we will see you in a bit. Thanks, Brownie. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. I'm off to tuck into my Chinese that's sat here.
All right, mate. Have a good one. I'll speak to you soon.